I can simply graph it on our own graph paper. And so I'm going to count to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3. Which brings me to -7, 6. Fairly simple. And with the translation, that's all it is. You're just moving the point left and right and up and down. Okay, so B is at 5, 5. And we said, or I said, that it looks like -10, -4 was our vector. So let's count 10 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that brings me to -5. Then we're going to down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that does bring me to -5, +1. Got when I counted. So that would be my vector, -10. So, but now, okay, 4. Question 5 has us, it tells us the image, they want the image of J, which is at -2, -9. I'm sorry, -2, 9. After being, and then we have our vector scale. Okay, so anytime you see this vector, it means we're translating. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to move. So remember, our vector, the -5 refers to how far the x coordinate's going to move, and the -3, the second number, tells me how many units along the y-axis the point is going to move. So -5 -3. So remember, with translating, we can translate in 2 ways. We can physically count 5 units because it's negative, so we're going to go left 5. And -3 means we're going to count down 3 units. But again, we have these even numbered axes, which I personally don't like. Even without graph paper, we could also just add the x coordinate and the -5 and then the 9 and the -3. And if you'll notice, -2 plus -5 is -7, and 9 plus a -3 is a +6. So either option, whichever you're the most comfortable with, doesn't matter. We're just counting. Okay, let's take a look. Number 6. Back to my original and okay. Which set of coordinates models the image of the triangle along a translation of 2, -9? Okay. Models the image. Okay, so it's asking for the image. Okay, so that means we're going to perform this vector of +2, -9. So again, this is how many units the x value is going to move and how many units the y coordinate is going to move. So +2 means I'm going to go to the right, and -9 means I'm going to go 9 units down if we were going to count. Okay? And again, I could plot these points on the other graph and just count down to, count right to down 9. But because the coordinates are here, so I'm just going to add. So I'm going to add 2 to -3, and I'm going to subtract 9. So that's going to give me a +1. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's going to give me -1. -3 plus 2 gives me a -1. And +7 minus 9 gives me a -2. So for M, you'll notice -1, -2 is the only point M only has one option of -1, -2, which means the rest of these must be correct. But let me do point P just to be sure. So I'm going to add 2 and subtract 9 from 6. So that's going to give me 4. And 6 plus a -9 is a -3. Yep, so that's what P is here, 4, -3. So yeah, so my answer would be B. Okay. This one's is different. It's not asking you to perform the translation, but it's asking you how it was translated. Okay? And this is where distinguishing between the image and the pre-image is extremely important. So the ABC is the pre-image, and the prime, A prime, B prime, C prime, is the image after the translation. So you notice how B prime, that means ABC, we're going to start at ABC and count to A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, the primes are what the image is, which is what the final answer is after the translation. So we're going to count, it looks like we're counting to the left and down. We are not counting up and to the right. Okay, this is where your vocabulary is extremely important. Okay, so we're going to count to A prime, B prime, C prime. So, goodness, I hate these two. The fact that these axes go by 2s makes me very mad. But this is at 5, so this is going to be 1, this is going to be 3, this is going to be 5, 7, 9, looks like 10. So I went 10 to the left, so that's going to be -10. And then I counted down, so that's also going to be negative. So I'm going from +5 to +1. So this is going to be 1, 3, 4. So +5 to +1 is a -4. Okay. Now we can double check this by graphing point B on our other graph. So B is at 5, 5. Problem. -5, +1 is the coordinate. If we're to count the other points, they're gonna be exactly the same. So the vector refers to all of points. But you know, if you notice, if I go, so +3, so A is at +3, 1. So if I add this vector of -10, -4, so 3 plus a -10 gives me a -7, and 1 minus 3, I'm sorry, 1 plus a -4 gives me -3, and you'll notice that is what A prime is. So there's a couple different ways that you can double check your work. The key here is just following the directions in terms of it wants the vector that maps triangle ABC to A prime, B prime, C prime. So this tells you ABC is your starting figure, and then this is your final figure.